Medieval myths that were actually true, ancient legends confirmed by modern science and archaeology. Welcome, dear viewers, to the History Uncovered, your trusted destination for exploring the most fascinating mysteries and secrets of our ancient past. Today we present to you an extraordinary journey through the medieval world, uncovering legends that were long dismissed as fantasy but have now been proven remarkably true. Our video today is titled Medieval Myths That Were Actually True, and we promise you a captivating experience filled with wonder and discovery. If you enjoy historical content that reveals the hidden truths of our ancestors, please subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell. Stay with us until the very end, for the revelations we share today will forever change how you view medieval history and ancient folklore. Let us begin this remarkable journey together through time and legend. First, the mystery of reigning animals in medieval Europe. Throughout the medieval period, chroniclers across Europe recorded strange accounts of animals falling from the sky during violent storms. These reports were dismissed for centuries as superstitious nonsense invented by ignorant peasants who did not understand natural phenomena. In the year 1355, a monastery in Bavaria documented a terrifying event where hundreds of small fish fell upon the village during a thunderstorm. The monks carefully recorded the incident in their chronicles, describing how villagers gathered the fish in baskets with trembling hands. The cobblestone streets of the village became covered with flopping silver bodies as rain continued to pour from darkened skies. Peasants in their rough woolen tunics knelt in prayer, believing they witnessed either divine blessing or demonic punishment. Modern meteorological science has now confirmed that waterspouts and powerful tornadic systems can indeed lift small animals from bodies of water. These creatures are carried aloft within powerful updrafts and deposited miles away when the storm system finally weakens. Medieval villages with their thatched roof cottages and muddy lanes witnessed this phenomenon more frequently than modern cities due to their proximity to wetlands. The peasants who reported these events were not inventing tales, but accurately describing genuine meteorological occurrences. In the French countryside during 1394, an entire village reported frogs descending from storm clouds during an autumn tempest. The local lord ordered his scribes to document the event, creating records that survive in archives today. The village priest, dressed in his simple brown cassock, interpreted the event as a biblical sign reminiscent of the plagues of Egypt. His congregation gathered in the small stone church, their wooden clogs echoing on the flagstone floor. Scientific studies conducted in the 20th century documented numerous verified cases of animal rain across multiple continents and climate zones. These modern observations perfectly match the detailed descriptions left by medieval chroniclers centuries earlier. The phenomenon occurs when waterspouts form over shallow lakes, ponds, or coastal areas teeming with small aquatic creatures and amphibians. The rotating column of air acts as a powerful vacuum, drawing hundreds of creatures into the sky. Medieval peasants lacked the scientific framework to explain what they witnessed, yet their observations proved remarkably accurate and detailed. They recorded sizes of creatures, approximate quantities, and weather conditions with surprising precision. Today, we recognize these medieval accounts as valuable historical documentation of rare but genuine natural phenomena that continues to occur worldwide. The myth was actually meticulous observation waiting centuries for scientific validation. Second, the Green Children of Woolpit and their unknown origin. In the 12th century, the quiet English village of Woolpit became the setting for one of medieval history's most enduring mysteries. Two children with distinctly green-tinged skin emerged from wolf pits near the village, speaking an unknown language. The village of Woolpit consisted of modest timber-framed houses with wattle and daub walls surrounding a simple stone church. Farmers in their linen tunics and leather boots gathered to witness the strange children discovered by harvest workers. The local lord, Sir Richard de Conn, took the bewildered children into his manor house and attempted to communicate with them. The children wore clothing of unfamiliar design and material that no villager could identify. Initially, the green children refused all food offered to them, appearing confused and frightened by bread, meat, and common vegetables. Only when raw broad beans were presented did they eat eagerly, consuming them with desperate hunger. Over several months under the care of the manor household, the children gradually lost their green coloration and learned to speak English. The girls survived to adulthood, eventually marrying and living a normal life in the village. She later described her homeland as a twilight place where the sun never shone brightly and everything appeared green in perpetual dimness. She spoke of crossing a river and entering a cave before emerging into the overwhelming brightness of the English countryside. Modern historians have proposed several compelling explanations that transform this legend into plausible historical reality grounded in medical and geographical fact. The green skin coloration matches a condition called chlorosis, caused by severe nutritional deficiency. The mysterious underground homeland described by the surviving girl may have been a heavily forested region with dense canopy blocking sunlight. Flemish immigrants displaced by warfare possessed their own language and distinct customs unfamiliar to English villagers. The persecution of Flemish communities in England during the 12th century created refugees who fled into forests and isolated areas. Children from such displaced communities might indeed appear strange and foreign to rural English peasants. The detailed contemporary accounts written by two independent chroniclers, Ralph of Coggeshall and William of Newburgh, lend credibility to the core event. Both men were respected scholars who interviewed witnesses and recorded consistent details. What seemed like impossible fantasy reveals itself as a probable encounter between isolated English villagers and malnourished refugee children. The myth preserved a genuine historical moment of cultural contact and human compassion. Third, the berserker warriors and their legendary battle fury. Norse sagas spoke of terrifying warriors called berserkers who fought with superhuman strength and apparent immunity to pain during battle. These fighters allegedly entered trance-like states where they became virtually unstoppable forces of destruction. In the torchlit longhouses of Scandinavia, skalds recited tales of berserkers foaming at the mouth and howling like wild beasts before combat. Young warriors listened with mixture of fear and admiration as elders described these legendary fighters. The berserkers wore distinctive clothing, often fighting bare-chested or clad in bearskins despite freezing northern temperatures during battle. Their appearance alone struck terror into enemies who believed them possessed by supernatural forces. Medieval chroniclers described berserkers biting their wooden shields in uncontrollable rage before charging into enemy lines with complete disregard for personal safety. They seemed to feel no wounds until the battle fury finally subsided. For centuries, historians dismissed these accounts as exaggerated propaganda designed to intimidate enemies and glorify Norse military prowess through fantastical storytelling. The berserker phenomenon seemed too extreme to represent historical reality. Modern research has revealed that the berserker state likely resulted from deliberate consumption of psychoactive substances before battle commenced. Archaeological evidence supports the use of specific mushrooms and herbal preparations. The fly agaric mushroom, common throughout Scandinavian forests, produces effects matching the described berserker symptoms when consumed in specific quantities. Users experience dissociation, rage, increased strength perception, and reduced pain sensitivity. Viking Age burial sites have yielded traces of henbane, another powerful psychoactive plant that induces aggressive behavior and altered consciousness. Warriors may have consumed these substances ritually before important battles. The physical symptoms described in sagas, including facial flushing, trembling, and apparent fever, correspond precisely with documented effects of these natural compounds. Medieval observers accurately recorded drug-induced states without understanding the underlying cause. Additionally, some researchers suggest that berserker behavior represented a form of deliberately induced battle hysteria, enhanced through ritualistic preparation and group psychology. The cultural expectation itself helped trigger the extreme mental state. The berserker legend thus preserves genuine historical practices combining herbal pharmacology, psychological conditioning, and warrior culture traditions unique to Norse society. Myth and medicine intertwined in battlefield reality. Fourth, the miraculous healing wells and sacred springs. Throughout medieval Europe, pilgrims traveled great distances to visit sacred springs and holy wells believed to possess miraculous healing properties. Churches and shrines arose around these water sources, attracting thousands seeking cures. The paths to these holy sites became worn by countless feet of desperate pilgrims wrapped in simple traveling cloaks and sturdy leather boots. They carried wooden staffs and recited prayers as they walked toward promised salvation. Medieval physicians and clergy alike documented cases of genuine healing at these sacred locations, recording symptoms before and after immersion in holy waters. The Church carefully verified miracle claims before officially recognizing healing sites. Skeptical modern observers initially dismissed all healing claims as psychosomatic responses to religious fervor or deliberate ecclesiastical fraud designed to attract donations. The waters themselves seemed unremarkable upon casual examination. However, scientific analysis of many famous medieval healing springs has revealed remarkable mineral compositions with genuine therapeutic properties previously unknown to science. The waters were actually medicinal. The springs at Bath in England, venerated since Roman times and throughout the medieval period, contained dissolved minerals with documented anti-inflammatory effects. Modern spa medicine validates treatments medieval pilgrims instinctively sought. Waters from Lourdes and other continental European healing sites contain selenium and other trace elements now recognized as beneficial for various conditions. Medieval pilgrims unknowingly accessed genuine mineral therapies. The specific conditions most frequently reported as healed at medieval springs correspond precisely with ailments now known to respond to mineral water treatments. Skin diseases, joint pain, and digestive disorders topped both ancient and modern lists. Medieval shrine keepers often prescribed specific regimens for using the healing waters, including duration of immersion and frequency of consumption. These protocols sometimes matched modern hydrotherapy recommendations with surprising accuracy. The elaborate stone structures built around these springs, with their careful channeling systems and bathing pools, demonstrate sophisticated understanding of water management. Medieval architects created functional therapeutic facilities. The healing spring legends thus preserve genuine folk medical knowledge accumulated through centuries of empirical observation and passed down through religious tradition. Faith and medicine work together unknowingly. Fifth, the dancing plague that terrorized medieval towns. In the summer of 1518, a woman named Frau Trophius stepped into a narrow street in Strasbourg and began to dance uncontrollably without music or apparent reason. She continued dancing for days without rest, her feet bleeding and her body exhausted. The half-timbered buildings of medieval Strasbourg loomed over cobblestone streets where curious crowds gathered to witness the strange affliction taking hold of their neighbor. Merchants in their guild robes watched with growing concern. Within a week, dozens more citizens had joined the compulsive dancing, their bodies moving in jerking motions they seemed powerless to stop despite obvious physical suffering. The phenomenon spread like contagion through the population. At its peak, approximately 400 people danced through the streets of Strasbourg in a mass hysteria that baffled physicians and terrified authorities. Some dancers collapsed and died from exhaustion, heart attacks, or strokes. City officials initially believed the affliction required more dancing to cure itself, constructing wooden stages and hiring musicians to accompany the sufferers. This well-intentioned intervention only worsened the outbreak. For centuries, this event was considered either wild exaggeration or complete fabrication by historians who could not accept such bizarre behavior as historical fact. The dancing plague seemed too strange to be true. Extensive archival research has now confirmed the dancing plague through multiple independent contemporary sources, including city council records and physician notes. The event genuinely occurred exactly as described. Modern medical historians have identified the phenomenon as a form of mass psychogenic illness triggered by extreme psychological stress affecting entire communities simultaneously. The medieval world provided perfect conditions. The years preceding 1518 brought severe famine, epidemic disease, and crushing poverty to the Strasbourg region, creating unbearable collective anxiety throughout the population. The dancing represented psychological breakdown. Similar dancing plagues occurred repeatedly throughout medieval Europe, with documented outbreaks in the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany spanning several centuries. The pattern suggests a genuine, recurring phenomenon. The dancing plague myth thus preserves accurate documentation of mass psychological trauma manifesting through uncontrollable physical symptoms in stressed populations. Medieval chroniclers witnessed genuine medical emergencies. And so, dear viewers, we reach the end of this extraordinary journey through medieval myths that prove to be far more than mere fantasy and superstition. We have discovered that our ancestors were often more observant and accurate in their recordings than modern skeptics believed. From raining animals to green children, from berserker warriors to healing springs and dancing plagues, these legends preserved genuine historical phenomena waiting centuries for scientific explanation. The medieval chroniclers deserve our respect for their careful documentation. If you enjoyed this exploration of hidden historical truths, please support the history uncovered by pressing the like button and subscribing to our channel. Share your thoughts and favorite medieval mysteries in the comments section below. Activate the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos revealing more secrets from the ancient past. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to uncovering more history together soon.